if I go into a store and buy a magazine, do I suddenly own the original print of the magazine?
You don't own Vogue because you bought a copy.
Yeah.
If I bought a comic book, do I own the stills that the art was drawn on? Do I own the dialogue that was written? No, I own the copy of the finished product.
Mm-hmm.
A comic book is a licensed copy of someone else's work.
Yep.
When you purchase music on Amazon, you are purchasing the licensed copy of that music. You are not purchasing the original master.
Therefore, you don't have right to distribute.
Yeah. I dare you to do that.
You don't own it.
Dare you.
If you don't own it, you can't redistribute it. That is literally it. If you redistribute it when you don't own it, then you are putting yourself in position where you can be taken to jail. I've said this over and over and over again. And there is somebody who will argue with me on my channel about this, who has done it a couple times. And I will, if he hears this podcast, he'll probably argue with me again. But my point still remains. You own the copy. You don't own the actual thing.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why when you used to buy Microsoft Office, if you made a copy and started selling it, and Microsoft found out.
Yeah. Yep.
And Microsoft got the money to keep you to bury you.
Oh yeah, they got time to play with you.
They got time.
They got time to play with you.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just it's hilarious. What's up, Shadow Man? How you doing?
Not much. I'm just exactly what they thought happened. It was a little bit of both. He said I saw Nintendo Life and left, but no, I was just trying to everybody. But,
No, but yeah, I had to bring that up just because I saw it and I'm like, the piracy crowd that love to say it's not illegal. I'm like, dude, it's illegal, bro. You can't just do that. You don't own nothing, man. You don't. Read your freaking EULA. You don't own nothing.
You know better than that.
Even still.
I did an in-depth video on this a while back. I believe it was called the Steam Deck moment or something like that. I believe it was. Yeah. So there's specific verbiage in the DMCA here in the United States. That's probably why the FBI and just the US is involved in this. Mm-hmm. The UK has copyright laws that are similar to this as well. But I mean, I guess it depends on what type of conversation Nintendo's lawyers had with them, whether or not they would decide to do that or not. But you can be pursuing upon that too as well. So pretty much the entire EU, you're beholden to about the same copyright laws as the US is. It just depends on what how they go about it, and it's going to be different between the UK and the EU overall. So it doesn't matter what country, as long as you're not. I mean, if you're in Europe in general or the United States in general, you can be hit by this, and it doesn't matter what country you're in. It's where the copyright originates from.
Correct.
So, I live in New Zealand. Well, if you have a U.S. property, U.S. copyright still applies to it. It doesn't matter where you live.
Well, the other thing too is like everything is global now, so a lot of these countries already had these discussions.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you take their money, just think about the mob. Would you steal from the mob? No. So don't do it. So just don't do it.
Hey! But if they ain't had a product, they ain't lost no money. See, I took a copy of it. And then I played that copy. They ain't losing any money because nobody bought the copy.
I'm glad
maintained online though. So if you're stealing from them online, you're still stealing.
I'm glad that you came to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. But I would like for you to know that my man Tony over here, he's gonna take you for a ride. We're gonna take you back to the bus stop.
On this the day of my daughter's wedding. Yes.
And by bus stop, I do mean the Hudson River.
We're going to give you a ride home.
We're going to give you a special pair of shoes. They're made out of Quikrete.
Yes. On the day of my daughter's wedding. so yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much what that is.
Can I give gray area advice? Is that all right? Can I do
that?
Sure. Because people,
if you want to.
For all our new followers and whatnot, right? Common sense is if you want to rip games and emulate and stuff like that, right? Just do it with the unencrypted ones, because that There's no law
don't
against
talk
that.
about it. Don't
talk about it either. Go get your little N64 ROMs or take whatever cartridge you want or whatever. Just don't go past N64. Don't go past PS2. Like, just don't go past that area, because once you start talking about encryption and stuff like that, like the reverse engineering and all that kind of stuff is kind of sketchy. And it's too easy for them to come after you. So just do that. Just stick to the retro stuff only, and then go from there. There's zero reason. Well, I'm sorry. I guess at this point you can consider Wii retro. So just past the 5th generation of consoles. Just don't attempt.
Yeah,
just don't attempt.
Nightwolf, to answer your question, the only other time I know about it was like the mid 2000s when somebody tried to do it with Sony, and Sony blasted them to oblivion.
Yeah.
So, but see, nobody said nothing when they did it. When Nintendo does it and takes down sites, people get mad. But I'll put it to you like this: Sony don't just do it with their video games. I dare you to try Sony Music.
Yep.
I dare you. Like, you can have, it can be like a 20-second snippet of a trailer for their movie that you're reviewing, and they will try to dock your whole doggone video.
No, but go ahead and use the same logic though. It's your computer. You own your computer. You can do whatever you want with it. I can copy all this Sony music to my computer because it's mine. Yeah, how they gonna work out in court, bro?
They're gonna track it too.
So that's usually how that happens. Because the only time I've ever heard of that was, and I forgot, I think it was Shadow Colossus or Ico or something. Somebody did something, and Sony found out about it, and boy. But nobody said nothing. Like, IGN didn't say nothing. At the time, game trailers didn't say nothing. Nobody said nothing. The only time they would say something was if Nintendo did it or if Sega did it. But they wouldn't say it if it was like Sony or somebody else. They'll pretend like, out of sight, out of mind.
So here are keywords when you're in the homebrew community, because we know this is all about homebrew, right? Look out for keywords: extract, dump, decrypt, hash, what else? Tickets. What's the other thing? What's the other part too? There's or keys in general. If you hear any of those kind of terms in any type of discussion regarding getting any type of retro game or any type of game online or transfer or used to extract game or used to get games off your system so you can store them for later, just know you probably violated DMCA if you're in the United States, or probably EU law if you're in Europe. Just know that that's involved just now. So if any of that language is involved, that means that you extracted some type of token. Token is also another word as well. If you extract a token and its value and you try to compare it and hash it up with something else, you're defeating and circumventing copy protection, which copyright law is there for, to protect. So if you do any of that, just know that you're already in the sketchy area. So I would not even attempt to do that. If you're making your own backup, as Wilson says in the chat here,
that's no excuse.
You're not allowed to do that.
No, and at no point in time. All right, so y'all ready to get these questions
in there real quick before we skip away from this subject?
Yeah.
The only gray area you may have, and this is a very thin piece of ice to stand on, is if it is technically lost media or there is no available way to get the media where the company would receive payment for it. Those are your only instances where you might be able to eke your way through, because there's a gray area, because if it's not available for you to get in a way that you can pay the person who created it, you might be able to get around it. But that is, again,
and that's
very thin.
Yeah, so that's going to depend. So like in one of the gray areas would be, say, like the old GTAs, right? They have licensed music in them. BMX Triplet, old licensed music in them. You're not going to get that game in its original form, any way, shape, or form ever again, right? Here's the problem with that. Not only will Rockstar come after you, the license holders of each individual piece of music in that game, they could come after you too. So now you got the music industry and the game creator coming after you. If they wanted to. They don't have to. They usually don't, but they're pursuant to it if they want to. So in line. The best thing to do is say, I should probably appeal to the Librarian of Congress on this for this reason. This game is currently unavailable in its original state for these reasons. Is it okay to archive this thing? And chances are it's already archived by the original creators anyway. Right. So they can always say that it's available, but you can't say it's lost to time. It's here in our museum over here. Now go buy the updated version. It doesn't have those songs anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And if that's the case, there's nothing you could do. Because when you go to appeal to it, well, it's for archiving purposes. It's already archived. Done. Yeah. Next appeal. So I mean, that's just them's just the rules, unfortunately. Yeah. So what are you going to do other than, I guess, try to appeal to a change the law? And if that's the case,
if you got enough money to do that, then yeah, you ain't got enough money to do that.
You better run for office yourself because nobody else is running on that.
Yeah.
And not in no country. Nobody's running for that. So I mean, that's the only thing I can tell you to do. Be a gamer politician, I guess. Run for office.
That's about all you can do, because honestly, like, there's games I hate I didn't get a chance to play because either I couldn't afford them at the time, or like you said, licenses, they don't exist. The one game, like for example, my son came to me the other day, he was like, Dad, is there a way for me to play Blitz the League 2? I'm like, no, not unless you got a PS3 or a 360. That's it. Like that game is not available anywhere, and that backwards compat for Xbox, it doesn't work. Like, so you just had a look. Same thing when you think about like 50 Cent Bulletproof. You can't play that on back compat. Like, you just got to have the original hardware. And if you genuinely want to play those games, there you can find them. Like pawn shops galore, Goodwills, people on Facebook Marketplace, they have them. It's just you gotta be willing to
spend that money
for that game. Yeah, you gotta spend that money. But yeah, I mean, it sucks, especially when you talk about like the newer generation, when they hear how much we talk about these games and the nostalgia we have for them, and they want to be able to play them. I understand, like, I get it, but at the same time, I mean, that goes with anything. I would have loved to have gas at a certain price back in the day when it was under a damn $1. Doesn't mean I go to the gas station and steal gas or siphon it out of somebody's car. It's just got to make it where you are.
I didn't get every Atari game I wanted for $1 back in the day when the original crash happened. Like, people were able to get carts for 50 cents at the time, and I missed out on a bunch of that. I got a couple for like $1 or so at the time, but the time had already started passing. By the time I started collecting Atari carts at that point. So yeah, I mean, you'll just miss out sometimes, and that's just the way it is. There's GameCube games that have gotten sold for $10 at one point because the system was selling so bad. Like, you could just go and buy any game at the time, and then how much they cost now? That same game that sold like trash, and it was in the bargain bin at an office supply store or whatever. Now is $100.
Skies of Arcadia, I'm looking at you.
Woo. Yeah. or that Mickey Mouse game on GameCube, whatever it was. Yeah. Like, I think it's like $1,000 new right now or something. So
like, disgusting.
Yeah, just really bad ports and stuff like that just end up being, because they were rare because the publisher knew it wasn't going to sell well on GameCube then at the time, and they just put minimal effort into it, threw it out there, and obviously it didn't sell well. So, and if it didn't sell well, then it becomes rare.
Basically.
So
it is what it is. But all right, so let's jump into these questions. So we got one from Dark Eyes ISM. Hope I'm saying that right. You think Microsoft should talk to Nintendo about putting the OG Xbox games that didn't really get love back then on the Switch system? I have said on a number of occasions that they probably should do this just because a lot of those games ain't what they base like.
Yeah.
And a lot of those
Rebirth,
like and some of those games I know would play better if it was where it was originally at, like Conker's Bad Fur Day. I wouldn't mind playing the Killer Instinct updated, the Killer Instinct 2013 over on Switch.
Right.
I wouldn't mind playing, what was that one that I can't remember. But like Cameo and some of those other ones, throw them over there.
That's the first thing I thought about, because I mean it works best on Nintendo's platform because it's in that realm. Of course, with anything, clean it up, modernize it, so that way there is no confusion. But yeah, try to see if they work. I mean, you don't hit nobody over the head with $50 or $60 for them.
No.
But
unless you put it in a pack, like if you put it in like a let's just say, for instance, a rareware pack.
I mean,
yeah,
do it like that. But yeah,
which that should be, if that rumor is true that we're gonna start hearing soon about Xbox games, Rare Replay better be in that fold.
That should be one of the first ones.
Yeah.
The first ones.
Yeah.
I mean, but Shadow Metropolis Street Racer. I'm still like Project Gotham. Bring that back. Crimson Skies. Like there's a lot of IPs that don't exist with Microsoft right now, that were there for that original OG, like Fusion Frenzy. Like my kids still love to play Fusion Frenzy. Like that was one of the best mini game type games outside of like Mario Party at that time that we had. But yeah, I mean, Microsoft should do a lot of things, but ultimately, like pick and choose. I don't think it's smart to put everything there because honestly, not everything appeals to the Nintendo audience.
Yeah,
but
there's a lot of stuff that does appeal that you're like,
oh, for sure.
Yeah, the reason why it didn't sell because you shouldn't have had it. Now, just being honest, the reason why it didn't sell because you shouldn't have had it.
Jet Set Radio in general, like Jet Set Radio features should have been a Nintendo property on a Nintendo platform.
Oh, Dark Void, that's a good one. Jade Empire.
Yep. Who BioWare owns that, right?
They did. Yeah, they did. I don't know. I think Microsoft owns that now.
Okay.
Completely, I think.
Jade Empire should have been moved over. I don't know why.
Yeah. Jade Empire should have never been dropped for Mass Effect. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. They should have never dropped it for Mass Effect.
Yeah, Brute Force. I remember that was one of my guilty pleasures on Xbox One. So, and I forgot who published that one. Digital Anvil developed it, but I don't know who the publisher was.
Yeah.
Was it Microsoft? Was it a first person game? Yeah, Microsoft published it. So yeah, they could bring that back. I guess they could.
Do y'all think they really bringing the Master Chief Collection over?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
Me personally, I wouldn't, because, well, the only reason why I wouldn't is because I don't think it would appeal. But at the same time,
well, they don't have Nintendo doesn't have first-person shooters like that, so they can really make some money.
Well, that's what I was saying, because it was like it's an open field. Like there's no real first-person shooters over there, but that's where I felt like COD was going to come in. So,
well, COD and then that James Bond, they're probably going to clean up.
But James Bond until next year, though.
Yeah.
So
that leaves that there is also the reason that Microsoft could do it to have Master Chief potentially show up in the next Smash.
Yeah, that's what everybody been saying. Like get that Smash,
get that Smash, get that Amiibo money.
Yeah,
that Amiibo crack.
Well, at least right back to Master Chief Collection for the
Then you can make two of them. You can make the Smash version of Master Chief, and you can make the Halo version of Master Chief. And just double dip, because people are gonna do it. They're gonna buy them for sure.
Didn't that open up room for like Halo Wars or Spartan Assault and stuff like that?
Yeah,
on a platform built for an RTS. Yes.
Yeah.
You do. It's literally a mouse. Like
it is. Yeah. I still think Activision screwed up. After seeing how Call of Duty Black Ops 2 got love on the Wii U, I think they screwed up by, first of all, letting Bobby Kotick run wild, and two, by just not supporting it. Because I'm like, bro, don't get mad at these folks. Can't use the Wii remote. That's a personal issue. Yeah. So
that's one of the things where his ear wasn't to the ground to the fans.
Well, he didn't care. He was getting money.
Yeah, and they were still asking. They're like, dude, we're no longer active on the Black Ops 2 anymore because y'all didn't update none of the maps. There was no DLC. Like, what are we doing? Like, you expect, like, there's no Newtown. Like, what are we doing? Like,
you expect people to keep supporting you when you don't support them. I don't understand.
Exactly. So they bought that game day one, and obviously it was a good port. I highly recommend people go play that version of the game.
Hold on. Hi, Vicky.
Hi, Vicky.
Oh,
Shea
man.
Butter baby. This damn girl.
That should just be I don't know. I guess it just be the tagline, I guess. And just do the entire thread that way.
Can you on here, can you do like little pop-ups to where we can just do like a custom Hi Vicky pop-up in the middle of the screen?
Yeah.
We need to do one.
Got to time it right though.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
Activision made a bunch of dumb decisions. But yeah, that was just one of them. Because I remember that time Shadow, we and you were playing, and dude got mad because he couldn't figure out how we
remote.
he couldn't figure out how he got
didn't know,
pissed off.
It's too easy to look one way. Like you could be facing one way, but still be able to aim another. And so I can headshot you while looking somewhere else. And he just couldn't figure it out.
He got mad. He
couldn't
claimed
figure
we were cheating. I'm like, bruh, you use the twin stick. We use them remote and Chuck. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
People didn't understand that concept when the arms can move independently of the head.
Like, bro, we use a remote and Chuck and you use a twin stick. You're at a disadvantage.
I mean, when you play a twin stick against somebody with motion controls, a mouse and keyboard, you have to be extremely good.
For those not tracking, in old traditional FPS matches, right? What you do is you count and you look at somebody who's facing the other way, and you figure that that's an easy kill. That's not the case when you're able to either mouse look or do anything else like that. Your body could be positioned a different way and be aimed anywhere between 30 to 45 degrees away from where you're looking and still be able to take a shot. So I could face one way. You think you're about to run up on me and get a stealth kill, and then I mow you down.
Right.
Because you're thinking that I'm turned to the side or whatever. No, I'm aiming right at you, bro. I'm about to turn right quick. And you're not even going to know because I could just turn that quick. Like instantly, I'm already aiming at you and I haven't turned my body around.
Like, I see you, bro. Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah. That was basically what was happening. So you knew, and God forbid if you played the Conduit. If you played the Conduit and mastered that, bruh, you was working everybody.
People are jumping, bouncing off walls. They're aiming down. Like it's ridiculous.
I feel insulted that game never came to the Switch, especially since they had a remastered version of the game.
Yeah, well, they only had a remastered version of the first one. The second one to me was a little bit better.
I don't know what happened with High Voltage Software. I knew they started doing a whole bunch of ports after that, but I don't know what happened.
I think they downsized because they two of their games that were supposed to come out got canceled. Yeah, and that's when they started. Yeah, because that's when they started doing mobile, and because they downsized. I think they're still around, but I don't know what they're doing.
They're owned by Keyword Studios, whoever they are right now. And I have no idea what they're doing today. Did the Grinder ever get published? I don't think it did.
That got canceled. That was one of the games that got canceled. That was one of the last games they had that got canceled. Yeah,
it was supposed to be for the Wii, wasn't it?
Yeah, Wii and supposed to be for Wii and 360, I think.
Yeah,
and that got published. So after Wii, they started doing a bunch of ports for PS2, believe it or not, and 3DS.
Going strong at that time.
Yeah.
PS2 was still going strong well after 10 years later, so which is crazy when you think about it. They helped on a port for Ben 10 for Wii U. They did that, and then
I don't even think that original team's still there though.
Yeah, so there's no telling now because now they're doing whatever stuff. So this game called Ballista got ported to the Oculus Quest and the Oculus Rift. So they helped on that, and they helped on the Zombieland double tap port. So they just been doing ports.
Well, another
what a talented studio.
Another victim of the HD era.
Yeah.
All right. So this next question comes from Dark Void. Hey guys, I have two questions for you. The first question, and I've always wanted to ask this: why don't you do super shots or have a Patreon page? You guys do so much good work, and it kind of sucks that we can't really support you. And the second question, let's skip all the other stuff. Second question, do we really know if that Switch 2 game cards are only capped at 64 gigs? Because all the research I've been doing is that we really don't know beyond the one unconfirmed report from a third-party studio. I don't know where they capped that, honestly.
That's always been my thing, too, because it's like, because we don't know, everybody's just going to throw stuff at the wall and try to see if it sticks. Like, we don't know what they're offering third-party. Like, that's the only card we have, and I've seen content creators open them up. You can't tell the difference. Yeah, like you can't.
And the other thing too is like, if they wanted to, 128 gig carts are cheap. They're not expensive. The 128s are cheap.
Really?
So
yeah, they're not expensive.
So I'll say this.
But I think they're probably using their own proprietary.
Probably.
Because Macronix, right? So
Yeah.
the part is you're paying for the ROM part, not the flash part, right?
Not the flash,
so the ROM is what's the expensive part because you want the read only and you want it to be secure. And also you want it to be durable because you don't want to, like, 5 years into your Switch's life, the cartridge doesn't work anymore. It's degraded or what have you. So that's what you're paying for. You're paying for durability. It's the reason why you can still play NES carts right now, some 30 plus years later.
Yeah, ones that's been exploded, probably got shot 3 times and still
the Atari
got robbed
too.
And robbed, and you still play them.
Yeah, Atari cards too. They still work today. So that's what you're paying for, right? So you're paying for the longevity because Flash in general is not durable like that.
No,
it's extremely susceptible to bit rot. So you want read only memory that lasts over time, with little bits of rewritable parts in it that Nintendo does to flash carts if they need to. So I've opened my Mario Kart World cartridge, right? I saw this on right when I was getting ready. When I got ready to do this, I asked Spawnwave, and he didn't respond on whether or not he was going to do a video on opening the carts and whatnot. And so right as I'm literally knifing my cartridge, his video popped up. So I'm sitting there looking, and he opened. I don't already open mine now. So inside of it, right, you have a Macronix chip in there that's 64 gigs, right? It's literally half of the inside of the cart. So the physical space exists for you to have 2 modules in there for 128. Yeah, that exists. Now the question is, do you chain them together with some other kind of back chip or whatever that fits in there to chain them together? Obviously that's possible, but the question is, do you need to at this point? Because it might be cheaper to just tell the developer, hey, look, y'all need to like cut it short on some of these ports over here, because like y'all over here porting stuff with PC assets on it. Like, what are we doing? Like, Switch is not. If I'm gonna be running at 720p and upscaling to 1440p or whatever, why do I need 4K assets? Like, those kind of things need to be changed. So you can start cutting down on some of the fat there. So I'm wondering if it's even necessary at this point. Could it happen? Yeah, sure. They'll be expensive, and like pretty much only the AAA studios and publishers will be able to afford it. But I would imagine that it's possible.
Well, the other thing too is like, would it even matter? Because a lot of these games do. Once again, Call of Duty is over 310 gigs.
Yeah.
So
that's the publisher that can afford it.
Yeah. So that's but see that's what when it comes down to like the gig size and stuff, I'm like, bro, like we got to start telling these developers, man, why is your game 296 gigs
right
before DLC? You dropping DLC.
Yep.
Like, cut some of this out. Like, some of that bloat needs to go. And like in Activision's case, stop recycling the same doggone maps if you're gonna charge them full price for them.
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
Don't even need to include multiplayer in the games where you have dedicated multiplayer Call of Duty. Just make
just do that. Yeah, just make 2 and not worry about it. Now, as far as the first question about doing a Superstars or a Patreon page, I thought about it. But I came to the conclusion I didn't want to do that because, one, I do this for fun. And because I got asked a while ago, why don't I have sponsorships? Well, when you have sponsorships, they start trying to dictate what they want you to say.
And ad read sponsored by.
And I have this little problem with me. If you try telling me what to do, and you start talking to me like you crazy, I'm gonna start reciprocating that energy. That's the best way to say it. I'll start reciprocating that energy, and I'll tell you where you can go and what you can kiss to your face. So I don't want that problem. That's why I don't do sponsorships or nothing like that, because you're not gonna tell me what to do on my channel. You're just not. Like, if you want to do your thing, hey bro, do your thing. You got enough money to do your own thing. Do it. So don't come here with it. The other thing too with the Patreon thing, I just don't. I like y'all. I don't want to charge y'all nothing, man. Inflation bad. inflation already bad. I don't want to charge nobody nothing, man.
Yeah.
And the profit sharing ain't good either. It's got to be something that where like, if not 90, but 100% of the proceeds go directly to the person that you're trying to support, right?
Yeah.
Why do I want to give? Why do I want to give like GoFundMe or Patreon like 50% of what you're trying to like? What's the point of that? Like, at that point, I could just get a PO box and you just send a check there.
Yeah,
like
I
mean, we appreciate the.
We appreciate it, but I just don't want to do. I just don't. I got a full-time job. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I agree.
I'm not balling by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm good for me. I'm good for
being
me.
comfortable is okay. Like
it is.
I don't understand what some people like need.
It keeps
to
me grounded. Yeah, it keeps me grounded.
There's some rich people that are not comfortable. So
there's some rich people that it's rich people that are miserable.
Yes,
like straight up miserable. And it's kind of like, because we got into a conversation when I was on the cruise with me and my brother were talking, like, you know how you always hear about people talking about you got to take me to this 5-star restaurant. Dude, I've been to my fair share of 5-star restaurants and above. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Half that food suck.
It's
because
but it's on a square plate and it's small.
It's about presentation and all this stuff. I'm like, you would go to those restaurants and then stop by Taco Bell on the way home.
Yeah, I gave you less and charged you more, but it was the decor, the way I played in it.
Yeah,
my wife isn't gonna love me any less because I didn't take her to Nobu. Right? She'll just eat Thai food and be fine.
Yeah,
she'll be all right.
And most times, and to be fair, to be completely honest, like most times you'll find like the best spots to go eat at, in all honesty, are the mom and pop spots.
They really are. Yeah, they still
specifically Thai food.
They still put love in it. They still put love in it. They're not trying to like reach this Michelin star or anything like that. Yeah.
So, and that's why, like, when I started looking at life like that, I started feeling like a whole lot better about my situation. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm really good. I don't like I said, I do this for fun. I don't do this for a job. So, because if it was a job, I wouldn't like doing it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'll say this too. Don't believe what you see online too, because a lot of these people operate off of debt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even the quote unquote rich people operating off of debt.
Yeah.
Brother, when I tell you, because I think you commented on this post, and this one girl was mentioning that she got into like the collection scene, but she was like trying to play catch up in one day, and so she maxed out her credit cards.
Yeah.
And so you expressed to her like it's the journey of collecting that stuff. Like you shouldn't have to go and max out credit cards to say like this is what I got, follow me, and then we'll continue together after this. Like that's not even genuine at that point.
Like the whole point of me having a collection is that it's a story for each game. Each game is a story.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, I remember I bought this one, blah blah blah, or I caught this one here, or everybody looked at me funny when I went in and bought Rune or whatever, right? Like I bought because they're like, why are you buying that weird GameCube game? And I'm like, because I wanted it or whatever. Like,
that's it.
Yeah,
like simple.
And so Lost Kingdoms or whatever. Lost Kingdoms 1. Like people were like, why are you buying? Like I heard it was coming out. It's from Software. I'm gonna buy it. Mm-hmm. And here we sit now. From Software's name is nothing but gold in people's minds. But back then, because they were primarily making those type of games, they weren't checking for it.
And you're gonna pay $250 for that original.
Yes. Try to go get it now. And
I dare you. So yeah. I mean, it's just that's it. That's the reason why. Like the Patreon thing just ain't that ain't my stilo. So there's that. All right. So next question comes from Jewel Ryder. Okay, so she asked first, Switch 2 features, what's the current best and worst in our opinion? And the second question is, Microsoft is gaining a game from PlayStation. What's an equivalent trade?
Okay.
That's actually a good question because
it is,
here's the thing. Because now people are saying, well, why ain't Nintendo giving them a game? They ain't got to.
They don't have to. There's your answer.
and I'm gonna say, and I'll take it even further. Like, dude, do you want to know why Microsoft and Sony having to do this? Sony wouldn't have to do this if they weren't trying to keep up with Microsoft. Right. They wouldn't have to. We've said this before. Your game should not cost $200 million plus to make. Your You're not making that back. This is not the movie. This is not the theater industry. You are not making that back in a weekend.
Yep.
Fantastic Four just released. It was a budget of I think $200 million. They just made 218. You're not gonna do that with Spider-Man releasing on PlayStation 5 only.
Yeah.
Let me say that again. You're not gonna make $218 million in a weekend for Spider-Man, a game that came out during a time where there was a freaking chip shortage and CRM issues. You're not gonna make that. You're not gonna make that money back. It doesn't work like that. You're not gonna make Concord costing $400 million. Yeah, like, your stuff has to go to multiple places.
Like imagine if video games operated like movies, seeing as we're dipping in movie budgets.
Yeah.
Like, would you be willing to pay, let's say, $18 to $20 to go and just play a game in another location? Like, you don't have the console, you just show up, they charge you $18 to get in, and you can play the game as long as you want
2 hours.
to.
No,
for 2 hours. Oh, for 2. That's right. Yeah, for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
That is
not doing that. Like, it don't even sound appeasing.
On the opposite side of it too, right? Imagine this: you made a $1 billion movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're only going to show it in 50% of the theaters.
Yeah,
is that really what you're going to do?
Yeah.
Like, and so those other 50% of theaters, that's the majority of people.
Mm-hmm.
that you have as a potential audience, but you just said, nah, I don't think all those movie theaters have 40 frames per second or D-Box. I don't think they all have that. So I'm not going to waste my experience there in those theaters.
Yeah.
And you're not playing.
That's what the game industry is doing.
Exactly.
And you're not playing the game in 120 or 60. You're playing in 24 frames per second or 48.
Yeah. But in reality, we kind of already had this movie scenario. If you really stop and think about it, we kind of had this movie scenario mainly around fighters. Hey, we want to test out the games. We want to get some money from the game. Go to the arcade.
Yep.
You can play it as long as you want to, as long as you got quarters. You can play it as long as you want to. They made money off of that. And then next thing you know, it shows up on console. So now, in a way, it's kind of like double dipping. Right. Hey, look, we got it out there. It may be a little different from the arcade because the console couldn't hold up, of course. But nonetheless, it was very, very close. Yeah.
But and even with that, you're like, there was a reason for them to do it because we can make money. Like you're not, and they're not, and those games did not cost that much to make. So when you see Nintendo and they're sitting up here, y'all making fun of them. They're sitting back like, yeah, but our games actually we ain't got to sell 50 million copies. We only got to sell 1 million.
Yeah.
That time we only have to sell 500,000. Most times we only have to sell 200,000.
Yeah.
Dude, when they came back with Marvel Ultimate Alliance, all they sold was 1.3 million. They was like, oh, that's sold way above expectations. We made we made a whole lot of money off that. What? Astral Chain only sold 1.45, I think. But that was way above expectation because they didn't need to sell that much to make it because it didn't cost them an arm and a leg.
Like I said many times before, if Nintendo is a failure, I want to be that failure.
Right.
Fail
me into winning. Thank you.
Yeah. Because that's why you can't listen to people like Michael Pachter because you sitting up listening to him being like, oh man, they're I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, bro, they're consistent. If anything, they're consistent, which means, yes, you may not get that supposed money that you think you're getting from Microsoft and Sony because they do loading it back in, but your money's consistent. Your money's consistent.
And Michael Pachter too, though, since he's the quote unquote financials guy, right? He goes off the graph of rich people's feelings, aka the stock market, right?
Yeah.
So he wants the market cap to be high. Which means that Nintendo will have to borrow a lot of money, so it looks like there's fake cash next to their name, and Nintendo doesn't do that.
They have real cash.
Yes, they don't. They don't do that.
Yeah.
And if they ended up borrowing too much money, that puts them at risk of losing everything.
Exactly. Why would you want that much fluidity and all the risk that's involved with that when you could just have hard cash to back up any hard times that you come across? So
and let's be real about one important thing here. Like they actually have cash on hand. And on top of that, they're not Microsoft. They're not a conglomerate. Sony.
Yep.
They're not a $1 trillion computer company. Microsoft. They're basically a toy company.
Yep.
Yeah.
They ain't finna do all that because the second they do that, they're going. That's what the Western gaming media wanted. Like Nightwolf said, they tried to make them go third party. IGN and Jeff Keighley. That's why I always laugh at Jeff Keighley because they were the main proponents of. Well, I just don't understand. Why don't they just go third party and let everybody play their games? They can play the games. All you got to do is buy the damn system. What the hell are you talking about?
So remember the ShadowCast that I did, where I played the video from Perrin Kaplan. They literally told her to her face that they didn't think Nintendo should be around.
Yeah.
But if this is during the sixth generation.
Yeah, but if you ask them that now, guess what they're gonna say? We never said that.
We know Nintendo always in the industry. We know they're just different, and we know they don't really compete. Nintendo did compete, but when they did, anytime Nintendo does a thing where they're like, okay, we're chasing tech now all of a sudden we got to come up with all the negative whatever. We can't show because they're a threat.
Mm-hmm.
When
they've always been a threat.
They're a threat.
They've always been a threat because the problem is they actually do the thing that people say these other ones are doing, which is actually innovate. They don't throw power at it, they actually innovate.
But I guess in that case, they were innovating and matching the competitors visually, which became a thing, and that now it's a problem.
So it's gonna be a real big problem now.
Yeah. Well, I'm sitting there like, I'm just like, what do you do? Like, you got Microsoft out here coming up with fake specs, talking about vertices instead of polygons, and Nintendo's just like, hey, here's Rogue Squadron.
Yeah,
here's what system is doing as many polygons right now in a game? What system? None. The answer was none in 2001. So,
the Batman Vengeance, that was the game, the Batman game.
It ended up being Rally Sport, Rally Sport Challenge, I think. Like it did like 21 or something like that, but then Factor 5 was like, yeah, we'll just do Rogue Squadron 3 and double the polygon count. I'm like, all right, cool. That's it. That does it for me. So so at that point, back in the day, for people that don't know, in the sixth generation of consoles, instead of teraflops, the entire comparison was how many million polygons per second could you display per frame. Yeah. That was the thing at the time. It wasn't lighting, it wasn't pixel counts or anything like that. A lot of these systems were locked to 480p. The PS2 could display 720p on some games. The Xbox could display 720p in some games, 1080i in some, depending on what kind of setup you had. But GameCube was specifically EDTV. That means 480p progressive, and that's all you got. You maybe widescreen was enabled in some games, but for the most part, it was a 640 by 480. Yeah. There was no deviating between that. Every once in a while, you had a game that did 853 lines, but
because most people only had 19-inch TVs.
Yes.
Yep.
They didn't have like
that was a big deal. That was a big deal.
Even the floor model 25-inch TVs.
Yeah,
they were still couldn't because the screen was not that big. Your floor model was 25, but your screen was probably 20.
Yeah,
so maybe 21.
So what happens when the Sony console, this is the sequel to the PlayStation, right? You launch this console and it's powerful. 66 million raw polygons per second or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And Nintendo, Howard Lincoln comes out and says, we're not worried because we have a more sophisticated machine that's going to launch next year. And they don't even tell you how much more complicated it is. It took an interview from one of the ATI developers to say, yes, about 90 million polygons per second raw. And you're like, well, that's less than Xbox. What did Xbox say? They said vertices. They didn't say polygons.
Yep.
So shared vertices, that's 2 per polygon, right? So divide that by 2. What is 112 divided by 2, people in the chat? I'm pretty sure y'all can do the math real quick, but it's less than 90 million polygons per second raw. Mm-hmm. So GameCube had the raw polygon formula down, right? And it had some of the texturing and stuff down. The advantage was Microsoft had more modern shaders and stuff. So developers could do like...
Shadow, I had to disagree with you. The difference was Microsoft had a bigger checkbook.
Yes, and Microsoft was literally paying people to, hey, do this thing.
Yeah.
Do this non-interactive water thing over here.
Over here.
Yeah. And so you're just like, ooh, look at the pretty water. Can you go in it? No.
Nope.
But it looks pretty.
Hey, Microsoft like, we're gonna give you this blank check. You fill in the zeros.
Yeah. So
Nintendo who?
So this little thing right here, this little box over here, if I can, this little guy right here. If you talk about polygons, this is the most powerful platform in the 6th generation. Polygons only.
And easy to carry around.
Yep.
It was fixed function. It wasn't programmable, but it didn't matter because programmable back then was extremely limited anyway, and it halved your frame rate when you used it. So
and half of it had the best version of Soul Calibur 2 on it. Okay, so let's do Zodia's right quick. Let's do Zodia's question right quick. How angry y'all think the media is that Sony and Microsoft are on the verge of going third party? I would say on the verge. Third party.
You're right.
Wanted Nintendo to do just that back in the 7th gen. I'd say Iwata.
Very mad.
I'd say Satoru Iwata. I'm so glad they pissed you off. I'm so glad they pissed you off because you showed them like, okay, y'all tested my gangster. So yeah, he basically, once again, that's why because when I think Brian Altano got mad at us about that when we called them out on that on Twitter before it became X. He got mad. He got mad because we called him out, and I'm like, bro, y'all did that. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We just wanted them to get better. I hate the we just wanted them to get better argument.
No, you called that man's job.
Yeah.
My thing is, what does better represent? Because if better represents half of the industry shutting down,
that's not better.
Losing tons of studios, people losing their jobs, games not making the amount of money that was used to produce them. Is that really better?
Nope.
Is that a way to thrive, or are we just going to keep pretending we're thriving just because everything costs more?
And the funny thing about it was, Iwata said all this stuff was going to happen in 2005, and people just said he didn't know what he was talking about. And I'm like, he told y'all the truth.
Yeah.
We never maxed out the 6th gen. Never maxed out the 6th gen. I don't think we've ever maxed out any gen since the 5th, maybe.
Not really.
Because every time something happens, they like, oh, we just throw more money, more power at it. And that's not
wasn't even maxed out, truthfully, because there are people making homebrew games for 5th gen consoles now that look way better than they should.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, the problem was when Iwata said it at GDC, he was telling people what was going to happen if they went full HD at the time, and they went full HD. And people, once again, people still forget this, but back then, a 32-inch TV, LCD, not LED, LCD, cost you about between $2,000 and $3,000, depending on who you got it from.
Yep.
Like, you're thinking about it as cheap as they are now. If you would have got a 40, because they didn't even have 60-inch plus, they had 42 and 47. It was 32, 42, 47. And they were LCD. They weren't LEDs. They were hella expensive. A lot of these mid-range companies couldn't afford to even keep up with half the stuff that they wanted to put in there to make it go to 720p, not even 1080. 720. We all got lied to, people. There was no standard 1080 60 frames a second. It wasn't.
They weren't even 720. A lot of them was 540.
40, yeah. They were 540 up-res to 720. And then lied and said it was 1080.
Yep. But I'll do you one better. I don't think the media is mad at all. I don't think they're mad at all. And this is why I say I don't think they're mad at all. I think they got their check. They got their check. So regardless of what happened, they got paid to ensure that, hey, look, when we go and we do our sponsorships and we speak on this, how this graphical change we were about to go into, this new world we're about to go into with PlayStation and Xbox, and Nintendo can't keep up. I got paid for my smear campaign. The downside to it all really is, regardless of them doing that, they still have a support system. Like IGN,
but it's not as
it's not as
good.
Yeah, it's not as good. It's not as good, but they still floating.
But because the funny thing about it is, because Nintendo did what they did, like that's why Keely be getting upset. Like, bro, you did this to yourself. I wouldn't support you neither. Yeah. You lied on my name.
That's the only alibi I'll give is I would say they are upset, and the only reason I would say they are upset is because I want to say it did take Sony and Microsoft to follow, but it literally was Nintendo starting a trend of saying, you know what we're not gonna do, excuse my French, is have you fuck with how our system is perceived and literally lie to the customer. Yeah. So what we're going to do now is get rid of your translations. So once they did that and they started doing the Nintendo Directs, they literally took power away from them. Because remember before what it was, people were paying to get coverage from E3 directly from all of these magazines and these websites or whatever. Like it was all gate kept. And once Nintendo is like, not only are we going to broadcast this through your stuff or whatever, we're also going to broadcast it directly to our users too. So it's either going to be on the Wii channel or whatever, the Wii TV channel or whatever, or it's going to be on YouTube. And they didn't stop. And they were relentless with it. And they're like, not only are they going to get it at the same time as you, game media, some stuff will be exclusive just to them for free. You don't get any of it. And I think they were really pissed about that because they had that. They had that at one point and it was exclusive to just them. And Nintendo was so secretive up until then, they thought they had an advantage. Like, if you want to look inside Nintendo, you got to deal with us. And we're going to translate how it presents to you. And so Nintendo's like, but if this is what you're going to do, we'll just take it away. Yeah. And go from there. And I do think, especially now, they don't have that power anymore. They are really upset about that. Because now it's not just YouTube and Nintendo channel. Now it's all of social media. Nobody really cares anymore about what you say because I can just look somewhere else to get a full aspect of, like, why should I listen to you as a reviewer and for a third party version? Say like there's a port that comes out or whatever, right? And you're like, what is this? This game is automatically bad. We're just going to rate it lower for whatever reason. I look at the review and it's literally a copy and paste of all the other reviews. You just happen to score it lower on this platform and didn't say why. I'm going to go to YouTube or I'm going to go somewhere else to actually review the version of that game. And fuck what you said. They don't like that.
Oh, yeah.
They used to
I
have
agree.
that control and they don't anymore.
I agree 100% as far as like the media aspect of it. Like they're pissed off in that regard. I think where I was going in regards to like the third party aspect, I don't think they necessarily give a damn. Because they're gonna find a way to eat regardless. Because like you said, IGN used to be that spot. Now you have content creators that take that space up
for sure.
Because it's like, okay, I'd rather go to them because they are genuine. And then also too, another thing that most channels do, it's the same person reviewing the game. It's not some Joe Schmo that, maybe a freelancer at IGN that may not even give two shakes of a shit about a sports game, but yet he's reviewing it. Like, to me, it has never made sense to me.
Well, that used to piss me off because, like, Colin Moriarty used to do that. Everybody knows Colin Moriarty, Greg Miller, PlayStation fanboys. They're Sony fanboys.
For sure. Yeah.
Yep. Why are you reviewing games that are on a Nintendo system when you already know you don't like the system? Why are you reviewing?
It makes no sense.
So, and you could literally look at their reviews, and one thing that they will complain about for a port that's on the Nintendo platform, they praise it on Sony platform, and the same problem is still there on both.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's wild, man. It's wild. It's out of control. And you look at some of the older Aaron Bowling reviews on Xbox stuff. If he was forced to review anything on GameCube, he crapped all over it.
Yeah.
So,
like, he'd be mad. They how dare you make me do this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you have different people covering different stuff for a reason. They should never be covering that, especially when you already know their background. That's why that's why it was so funny when Shuhei Yoshida looked dead at Colin Moriarty, Brian Altano, and Greg Miller and said, "Are y'all fanboys?" And bruh, the look on their faces was like,
hard to know what it is, man. You like what you like, that's cool, but
Yeah,
you got a
but
job
you ain't
where
gotta
you're not supposed
bash.
to be that you're not supposed to be biased.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
ain't
Like
supposed to be bashing,
that
outwardly
too.
bashing, and they were doing it, not knowing Yoshida had 2 Wii U's.
That he
Yeah.
got banned on both of them for.
Yeah, you got to be on both of them, but like he had 2 of them. But I'm like, bruh,
I feel like we should show that video at some point to
did they
folks
take
so they can
it
see.
down?
They took
Man.
it up. Somebody else got it up somewhere.
Man,
Somebody gonna have
I
it
mean,
somewhere. It's on somebody.
Greg Miller
somewhere.
kept pushing too, but don't you think it sucks? And he's like, no.
No, like that's why he was like, he just looked at him. He looked at all 3 of them like, are y'all fanboys?
Yeah.
The next weekend they had a 2-hour plus podcast talking about how they not fanboys. Like,
Their hearts were broken.
They're like, bruh, y'all ain't do nothing but make it worse.
Big Daddy Yoshida told them that they was fanboys. They was hurt.
Big Daddy.
They didn't even know that. And the sad thing about it was they didn't even realize that, like, dude, he wasn't on that. Like,
Yeah.
And he kept trying to be like, hey, dog, I'm not on this. Like, he kept trying to move the. If you watch the whole thing, it's actually hilarious because you're like, he's trying to move the conversation to other places. Then he just got fed up with it. Like, you do know I own 2 Wii U's, right?
Yep.
And they were just like, what? Like,
I guess the weirder thing about it is like later on, Mark Cerny would just have appreciation for the hardware choices too. Because they were literally like for PlayStation 4, we consider doing exactly what Wii U does, have a whole crap ton of eDRAM. Like that's literally what he was talking about doing for the reasons that we've already discussed before. Like you need the fastest memory closest to main memory as possible, and eDRAM is the closest to that. So why not stage everything there and transition that into RAM in the background so the user doesn't know the difference between when you're loading and paging stuff to memory, and you can readdress stuff really fast versus having a whole bunch of RAM and worrying about seat time and latency. So they only picked GDDR5 at the time because it was GDDR5 and not DDR. If it was DDR, they weren't going to do it. Xbox One did that, but they had eDRAM to compensate for it. And if they didn't, the Xbox One would have been horrendously slow. Yeah. So, I mean, they at least looked at, what Nintendo was doing and appreciated. Like, Nintendo isn't stupid.
I don't think out of the, between the 3 of them, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, I don't think they hate each other. Because once again, they don't. They have nothing to gain from a console war.
At all. No.
But
it's just media.
The media does because they have to rely on clicks and people coming to their website and reading their articles and stuff. And I'm sitting here like that was the problem. Like they don't. That's why when Reggie and Layden and Phil got on stage at E3 that year, they were like, "Bro, we don't get anything from this.
Yep,
like this fanboy stuff y'all doing, we don't get nothing from this. Like
actually
we work
makes it
together.
worse.
Yeah, we work together. So and then people was getting mad. Why does Phil Spencer play Smash Brothers with because they got caught playing with it was Phil versus Bill Trinen and was it Sakurai in that match?
I don't know.
It was somebody.
Sakurai. He plays randomly too, so you never know if you're gonna go online and see him.
It was basically Duck Hunt Dog versus Mega Man versus I won't say Jigglypuff or somebody like that. And they found out it was Phil Spencer, Bill Trinen, and I want to say it was Sakurai. And people couldn't believe that Phil Spencer played Smash. I'm like, dude, he's a gamer.
Yeah. And that is the key term right there.
He's a gamer.
He is a gamer. He is a gamer.
Yeah, he works for Microsoft. That don't mean he don't play nothing else. And then when Sakurai showed his setup, I was like, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Sakurai got 2 70-inch screens.
They all lined up.
Got the consoles lined up on the bottom. I'm like, bruh, I wish I had this setup. The setup is clean.
Yep.
Sakurai's setup is so clean. That's why I used to love his YouTube channel. It was so clean and educational, by the way. But so clean. I'm like, man, and then he just embarrassed the whole world when you sit up there playing Smash Bros. With 2 controllers at the same time.
Like, that's disgusting.
You spent too much time programming the game, bro.
Yeah, but I mean that's the key thing. Like I said, this console war stuff hurts them more than anything because it's like when you look at Xbox, right? It gets bashed to no end, and when you look at the hardware, there's nothing wrong with that hardware.
No,
it's a solid hardware. The UI is solid. It runs flawless. It has great features as a hardware. software, they're lacking for sure.
Yeah.
But then when you talk about what they do offer, it goes to show you that they actually make great games, because guess what's top selling on PlayStation right now? Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah.
So it's like it's if it's about the software, then I understand that you can't afford everything, so it sucks. But at the same time, you doing this, oh well, my plastic is better than your plastic. You don't have any stake or stock in any of these doggone devices. Like, I get it. There are some people that they genuinely have to justify their purchase, because I know sometimes that $400 or $500 hurt. I've been on that side of the house. Like, you go and you get it, hooray! But damn,
yeah.
Man, even today, I'm just looking. I'm like,
woo,
100. Oh, man, come on. Even buying a game, you're just like,
yeah, you get that stank
70?
face. Like, do I want to?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm proud of myself. I've cut back. I've cut back a lot, because I'm much more selective, because I have to be.
Mm-hmm.
If I hate to have to say this, I'm trying to be a responsible adult.
Oh, trust me, I struggle with that every day.
Yes, but
every day,
because I work, I'm like, I really want to get what I want, but I can't do it. So
I do that thing. I congratulate myself and say, "Hey, I paid all the bills." Then I get one of these, and then I buy a game.
I try that too. I try to, but I still got this guilty conscience back here. Like, you just dropped 7 and you ain't finished a single damn game in there. Like, that's it's the adulting. But yeah, I mean, when you look at all of what the media did, they tried to cut it out. They tried to kill. But them now seeing the third party, I mean, if you haven't seen it already, the narrative is already switched up. Oh, this is positive. Like, now you don't have to pick and choose. If you're a PC player, you can play everything. If you're an Xbox player, you can play everything. If you're a PlayStation player, you can play everything. And then now it's going to make it look like, well, Nintendo's not cooperating with us now. Like, Nintendo's
they never have, so you shouldn't be surprised.
They're not playing ball. But at the same time, when Microsoft and Nintendo were doing their joint venture of both putting up the advertising that we share, Sony didn't share.
Survive together. Yep.
And nobody batted an eye.
Nobody did.
Like, just think about some of the third-party games.
I call Sony out on it.
Oh yeah, trust me, there were plenty of people on this end that called them out, but the usual Glazers didn't say anything. It was just, oh well, why would they? Like, why would they?
Do y'all remember when they had Princess Peach and Squid, Ink Boy and Ink Girl on Xbox?
Oh yeah, when they had them on the front page.
Yeah. And people like, we're getting we're getting what it was? They thought they were getting Mario Odyssey. No, you're not.
Man,
no, you're not.
Because this is when they still had Mixer and they were just advertising people streaming.
Yeah, they were but that was right after they made the joint venture statement, because I think Minecraft Legends was coming. Minecraft Legends was coming. Mm-hmm. So they had made look, we are cool with each other. We're cool. Like,
and you about to see how cool they are in the next couple of weeks too.
Yeah, but it was just funny seeing that. But yeah, like, they don't gain nothing off of this, and that's another thing why when Iwata was basically, that was saying, like, if you guys have a chance to, please get Ask Iwata, go to I've seen it at libraries, read it. Iwata was a genius, bro. But I see why Yamauchi chose him as his successor. He was a kind killer.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He was a kind killer. Like,
no gangster.
He would smile in your face and destroy your entire like, bro, like we said, once he like, you know what, I'm gonna come out here, I'm gonna apologize to the fan base, because this is on me for Wii U. I'm gonna cut my salary, but I promise you this will never happen again.
Yep.
And when he did that, I'm like, at that point, I'm like, E3 done. And that first direct, I'm like,
single-handedly killed.
But here's the other thing too.
Killed E3.
I'm looking at a quote too. It was never like Iwata was realistic too. Like, I'm looking at a quote right now where he said about Wii U. He said the momentum in the US and Europe is currently weak. He was willing to say that, not only to investors but also to users that were reading this in our statement they had on their page. He was willing to say that, like, it's not selling the way that we thought it was, but it's up to us to change this investment, or for the people that did buy the system to feel value. So they're like, we're going to keep pumping out games. This is what we're going to do. Because these people bought, the few people that did buy it, we want to make sure that they feel it's a worthwhile purchase. And we feel that that'll be better for us in the long run.
And the majority of them that did buy it, it was well worth it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It was well worth it. If you didn't listen to IGN and Michael Pachter and Game Trailers, it was well worth it. Because you ain't get experiences like that nowhere else. And on top of that, we ain't even gonna talk about them first 2 years when they had like the best TV app, best remote ever. Yeah. Like it was really ahead of its time, and people don't want to give it its props. That's why I was like, when the Switch dropped, I'm like, this is the biggest FU to the gaming industry I've ever seen in my life.
Like, all those things, by the way, all those things on Wii U were free. There was no subscription required.
But people started talking about it. It's just like with the virtual console. We had virtual console. People started talking about, well, I want a subscription service, something like Netflix. They gave it to you. Where's the virtual console? This ain't right. I'm not paying for this.
Why can't I just go on the eShop and buy it? You had that on the Wii U.
You had that, but you didn't want it. You had it, but you kept. And well, I never said that, but you ain't never talked about the people who didn't.
Sure didn't.
So those same people, when you bring that argument back up to them again, they say, "Well, what about the new users? There are new users out here now that want to
don't matter."
I said, "But you're not them, and you were there doing Wii U.
Yep.
What is your response now? Crickets."
Yeah, I'm about to say you laid the foundation for those in the future. So your stupidity is what caused them not to have today. That's just what it is. That's why I always say, like, Xbox. I hate that they're in the state that they're in, but that Xbox One, as great as a console, and I feel like Kinect was going to be great too. I think the Master shot that in the foot. The Master shot that in the foot.
I'm like, if you put time and money into something, you should stick with it.
You really should, and that's where I feel like that was on them because they gave up too easily. Because honestly, when we look at today, it's in hindsight. I understand, but can you imagine how many people would say, "Oh, I love the idea that I can watch YouTube and a PIP while I'm also playing my game on my TV." Like, people will go nuts over that because really you wouldn't need the need for 2 HDMIs in today's standard. You would just need the apps on the actual console itself and then run both of them.
That was their Wii U version, basically.
Which was already there. Because they already had the apps there anyway.
They already had it.
So that's why I was like, So
people killed that console. I mean, like I said, they did a good job killing Xbox. Now, Xbox helped. Don't get it twisted, but you know the fan base did a great job killing off that console or Xbox in general because they had it 360. They were coming off hot regardless of the Red Ring of Death. Like they were coming off hot and going into 360. I mean, going into the one, it was. I get it. Don Metric said what he said, but I never knew that people relied so much on words when you still saw what the device was in your face.
Yeah,
like was he stupid in what he said? For sure, I get that.
Yeah, but he didn't care because he was leaving.
He was leaving.
Yeah.
if we're talking about where Kinect could be and where that whole UI and everything that came along with it, Xbox could be on top of something right now.
It's still being used in the medical community.
It is being used.
Sure. Yeah. Xbox could literally be VR without the headset.
There you go. They really could if they would have stayed on top of it, but they pretty much got peer pressured out.
I literally just saw a Kinect. I used the Kinect in the scan during the medical appointment not too long ago.
I mean, they still use the Wii for physical therapy.
Yeah, they sure do, especially in the senior homes.
Yeah,
but I mean, when you look at it, like I said, the stupidest excuse was, okay, they're spying on me. You got your phone in your face every single day. Most of y'all giving up information and videos every day anyway. So it's
so
what privacy are you holding that in the first place? So,
you got your phone in your pocket and you don't look at any end user license agreements.
No.
You sit here letting every camera get a picture of your face. You think when you take a picture of yourself and send it to the cloud that the company doesn't have a copy of the picture you sent?
Yeah, so don't try to play secret now.
At this point, what EULA did you sign when you bought your car?
Oh,
at this point, if we're really gonna go there, and there's the same chip that's in the Switch is powering these Tesla cars.
Yes, yes,
just keeping it a buck.
Yep. And yeah, Jazzy, you're right too. That's so stupid. Like they gave you this free for a year, and then if you play online, you were going to pay for it anyways. So the button, that's so stupid.
And they're doing it again for Switch too.
I know.
They did it for Switch, and then they're doing it again for Switch too. So like, what?
That's what I was like.
So we use Game Chat, y'all. We use Game Chat. Game Chat. I'm just wondering because the people were saying the NSO sucks. So like
that's one thing I'm surprised I haven't heard anybody complain about the online. They're very quiet about the online. Like,
there's nothing to complain about.
Well, at least come out and say, you know what, they fixed it. They did what they were. It runs smooth. It runs flawless. Mario Kart World hadn't had any issues. You think they're gonna come out and say that? Nope. Now they're gonna say Mario Kart World is dead, which I don't know how that.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, bro, some of these people, when they be making up these stories, I'm gonna call it what it is. When they be making it because they trying to get engagement. Like, I ain't even talking to them no more. I don't click on nothing. I don't even respond to them on any social media because you're doing this on purpose.
Yeah, you are.
Because you know you're lying. And I'm not even finna engage with you because I know what you're trying to do. You're engagement farming. I'm gonna ignore you so you don't get no money.
Yeah. Like I said, that's why I say I'm cautious. I got PTSD with blue checks. I really do. I don't even respond.
So let ask a question before, and it was similar to what we were talking about. The third party situation. With Sony or whatever, I guess supposedly next on the chopping block. Like Microsoft's about to happen soon. So
no, they all been doing it. That's the first time when Sony went and put that first game on PC. I'm like, it's over for them.
It's done.
Because they got to make money. They once again, if your game costs $200 million to make and only damn sold 2 million, you're in the hole. And all the putting it on sale for $20 for 2 weeks during Christmas or during the summer ain't gonna help you get that money back. Because number one, you shouldn't have been selling it for $60 anyway. You probably should have been selling it for 80 or 90. I don't know why people think that 60 is just some magic number that makes them get all their money back. It don't. So like you should have been selling it for 70 or 80 anyway. And I hate people my age sitting here complaining about damn $70 and $80. If you've been gaming since the 90s, you know good and well them cartridges was costing between 70, 80. There was some cartridges that were $90, and you ain't say nothing. You mowed them yards, did what you had to get it if that's the game you wanted.
Virtual Racing was $100 on the Genesis.
I was about to say, if you had Neo Geo,
if you had Neo Geo, you better not say nothing. If you had Neo Geo, you better not say a damn thing.
But you got what you paid for. It was literally arcade quality, like carbon copy of the arcade is what you were paying for.
Perfect.
So it's one of those situations where I'm sitting here. I'm like, look, man, they've been had to do this because Sony wouldn't be in this situation if they wouldn't have tried to keep up with the Joneses. Yeah, so Sony would not be in this situation. Do y'all realize Sony had all the Square Enix to themselves?
They had all
and Crash and Spyro, and they had a stable first party roster that could match Sega and Nintendo, and they gave it all up.
Hold on. Until recently, the entire MLB license.
Yeah, the entire MLB license. But guess what? Game costs too much to make. So now, hey Nintendo, y'all want MLB? We'll get y'all the show. Please take it. Please, please, come on, dog. Hey man, we friends. Come on, man.
Nintendo's like, hey, can you convince so and so to port straight over the Switch now? And they're like, sure.
I thought you like everybody. That was for everybody.
Hey, can we just get 10% off top? 5%. We'll take 2%. 2%. All right, cool. Can we get an Amiibo too?
It's crazy, but I mean, when you really stop and think about it, right? I made this statement yesterday on Sandstorm's podcast. Like, I am both consumer minded and business minded. Like, that's what makes it so easy for me to digest a lot of what's happening, and I don't go into this rage because I understand both sides of the house. So if I'm looking at, for example, with Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man, they said it was 315 million to make Spider-Man 2. 315 million. Now, I think what Breath of the Wild was roughly 5? They said 5 million. Okay.
Yeah, not that.
Both of those games were $60, right? I don't know sale wise as far as like what went on sale at what point, they start counting the on sale with the price, but let's just go for the sake of conversation that they stayed at $60 for both games. Spider-Man 2 sold 11 million. Breath of the Wild is what, around 30?
I actually think it's about 35.
35 million?
Yeah.
So
35,
I spent 310 million less than you. At the same MSRP. And made more money than you did.
Can I add to that? Can I add to that?
Go ahead.
How much does it cost for the Legend of Zelda license for Nintendo to pay for to have that game on their platform?
Yeah.
The answer is zero.
Zero.
Now, how much did it cost Sony for the Spider-Man license? Even though they own the movie license, how much did it cost?
They don't own
The
the
game
they don't
license.
own the game
They don't own the
license,
game
or and they really don't own the animated outside of movies. They don't own the animated license either.
So that was my point last night. On the consumer side, of course, we would all look for games to be affordable. Like we would all love that. But that also comes with a risk. It's like, all right, if I know that Sony is putting that type of investment into a video game that is not an evergreen game. Like, let's be honest, Spider-Man 2, once you beat it's done. It's nothing more to it. So once you get done with that game, that's it. Now, like I said, it's all 11 million. We all understand that's sales, bundles, like that comes all together. If I'm business minded and I want Spider-Man to stay around and I want Disney to ensure that the license stays with Sony should never drop that price from 60. It should never go on a permanent drop. Like, go on sale, that's fine, go on sale, but it should never come from 60, because now, to me, as a businessman and a consumer, that lets me know you don't even value your own product.
Yeah,
there you go.
You don't. Like, there's no way you can tell me that I value my IP if within a matter of a year I drop it from its original price, knowing the money I spent on it and knowing that my fan base that go to war on social media did not show up, because the PlayStation 5 is sitting at what, about how many console sales is PlayStation 5 at right now?
Last time I looked, I want to say it was at like 49 mil, but that was like a few months ago.
Yeah, so probably like in the 50s, somewhere around there.
About 52, 53 by now.
And you tell me 11 million showed up?
I mean,
now, I'm not saying
show for Astrobot.
No, I don't even want to see the sales of Astrobot, because it ain't gonna do nothing but piss me off. Like, I don't even want to see it. And this is coming from somebody that went and bought another PlayStation 5 just to play this game. So I went to the extreme. I am an anomaly. For those of you that already own it and didn't even try it, but then also there's another group that went and caped for it and didn't even try it. Like, because essentially you kind of sort of played the game if you played the free version. They just kind of added some more things to it, for sure. But ultimately, that game should have never, ever had a report come out saying 1.5. If Sony's going to announce it, that game should have said, hey, it's already at 10. It's already at 5. It's already at something. Because this is an exclusive that's $60. Now, granted, did it poke too much at nostalgia? For sure. But it's still a solid platformer. Okay, 77, RJ, that makes it worse. Right. So, like, I would have rather you not have said that, but it's like, like that's work.
It got 777s. Oof.
Yeah.
So for reference,
okay.
For reference, Princess Peach Showtime is still MSRPing for $60.
Yes.
You can catch it on sale for like 50 or 47 at Walmart or Amazon or whatever, but the MSRP in stores is still $59.99.
Right.
That's not even Mario. That's Princess
Peach. Yeah. That's Peach.
But they value their IP, and that's why it stood the test of time. You can complain about it never going down all you want to, but there's companies that you can see they put value. That as much as people go crazy and talk ill of Apple values their product.
Yes.
Well, is it overpriced? To me, hell yeah, it's overpriced. But at the same time, it is what they value their product at. And it shows that people show up for that iPhone. They show up for the Macs, whether it's the books, the Pros, the iMacs, the Minis. They show up because they feel like, hey, I know that the updates are going to be within like 10 years is going to stay continuous for 10 years. Everything is going to work as seamless as it possibly can. And even though I'm in this ecosystem of what Apple has, I know they take care of it. I know they're not just going to let it go by the wayside, because right now, the current problem I'm facing, as much as I love Android, the current problem I'm facing right now is where me and my wife are doing like trying to follow by Google Fit. And I have a Tick Watch, which is running Wear OS. How many times do I have to keep going to that Movi app and refreshing Google Fit and then redoing my Bluetooth and redoing this and redoing that before it even reads some of my steps? Not even all of it. It's just inconsistent to where with Apple, that Apple Watch, that phone, they pair, they talk, and it sinks, and you get addicted to them rings for some reason. I don't know why, but you just do. But but
it works.
It works.
It shows up on my TV, bro.
Man, that right there, that had us locked in. When we had Apple TV and did the Apple Fitness along with the watch, I was like, oh my goodness, like
it shows up on my TV.
It's crazy. This is stupid. But yeah, all that to say, like, we have to understand like how this was going to go. Like, I think everybody here on this panel understands where this was going to go. Like, we knew what was going to happen, but it comes back down to value. Like I said, you have to value your IP, and at this point in time, if you look at Xbox, everybody knows their big three. It's Gears, Forza, and Halo. Right now, Forza is the only one that don't stink right now. Like Gears is coming with a new one, and Halo got to do something with this recovery from Infinite. But that's where they are. And I can't even say a big anything for Sony because I don't know if they're going to keep it.
Yeah.
Other than ran Last of Us into the damn ground. But it's like, other than that, I don't know.
The next Halo has to be multi-platform. That much I will say. I don't care what platform, it's got to be.
At this point, and I don't even think there's really much you can do to save the Halo franchise unless because like 343 just, I don't think the trust there, consumer trust is there anymore.
Yeah. Well, really, to me, even with that being gone, I think they could have still thrived off a single player. And ultimately,
they got the lore for it. They
got it. Yeah.
They just have to pull they'll have to pull a Metroid. And I don't think they're gonna do that because once again, that base is dude, bro. They're not finna do that.
Bang.
They're not finna do that.
Teabag. Like,
so I mean, it is what it is. And I think another thing that hurt Halo was them trying to cash in on like the hero shooter battle royale. So I'm like, bruh, y'all a Halo. Y'all ain't got to do that.
And if you're gonna do that, don't make that part of the inherent gameplay loop that you for the single player. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
So, because I think one of the things that I actually liked that Guardians did was war zones. I love the idea behind war zones, PvP or PvE, but you can mix them together. I love that idea, but once again, and then once this goes back to them, just I don't know what was happening at 343. They marketing was stupid, didn't make any sense. You made people hate characters that you shouldn't have hated because of how the marketing went. Like, look, I like Legend of Zelda. Do not sit up there and try to pretend like you're gonna kill Link in the damn marketing, and then this other person is gonna be the new one. Don't do that.
We tried doing the same thing with Gears. Like they were really trying to this is the end for Marcus Phoenix. I'm like, are you sure you want this franchise?
You sure you want to do that?
You don't want to do that.
Look, y'all already got rid of Dom.
I'm like, don't even tease like.
Don't even play like that.
You can't do that to you. Once you've already killed a fan favorite character, you can't take out another one. You can't do that.
Just establish, or by the very least, establish another character. And if you do establish another character, do not let the loud minority tell you to stop using that character. If you're gonna bring them, use them. Because they damn sure let 343 damn sure let the loud internet minority get rid of Spartan Luke Cage. I mean, look, hey, like Mike Cole's Luke Cage, y'all know that. He should have had a yellow shirt.
Just be Luke Cage, just walking around.
Sweet Christmas.
Walk around punching.
Have a gun, just throw the gun down and start punching.
Punching elites in the face.
Yeah,
I think that was a telltale sign too that gaming had become kind of like it started spiraling because right after they ignored what Iwata said, and Miyamoto said it too, that it's unsustainable. Immediately you start seeing DLC in every game.
Yep.
Like it wasn't just like your MMO or your RPG light or whatever. Like it started becoming everything, and not just in shooters. It just every game. Like when fighting games start locking stuff out, and I'm like, come on, bro, this game is already cheap for you because the story is not going to be that long. You don't have to do too much. Like you're making there's 10 stages. You fight the boss, credits, right? Like you already are not spending that much money as far as like crafting a compelling narrative, right? Why are we paying to unlock skins? I don't. In a fighting game, like the entire point is you throw all that stuff in, it's for free for you anyway, because you already designed the character models to throw on. You're adding extra hex values on stuff that you've already made to look different. Like that should be freebies that you give to everybody, especially if they played the game long enough. They have this little thing because they're good at the game, not because they paid more than the other person. That doesn't make any sense. And when that started happening in games, I'm like, yeah, this is not going to be good. And it's not going to work the way they think it is. Because when I saw Virtua Fighter 5, I'm like, well, not just Virtua Fighter 5, more Dead or Alive 5. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And you can start to tell.
Dead or Alive 5 did?
Yeah.
Boy, that was egregious.
You can start to tell the Microsoft check was gone. So they're like, well, we got to fund this some type of way. And it became, up front, you're going to pay for all this foolishness. And I'm like, why? But there's no need for any of that. So, and we're still talking about the 7th generation. And of course, it just got worse. You know, last generation and whatnot. Oh, I'm sorry. The 8th generation, it got worse. Yeah. So why? Like, what was the point? It was because you couldn't afford the game at $60. You couldn't afford the game at $70 later on. So, so the budgets need to get lower. The costs need to get lower. And maybe you shouldn't subscribe annually to Unreal.
Yeah.
Or
maybe you shouldn't.
And scale back your grand vision and actually just worry about making a game. Making the game is fun.
What grand vision is in a fighting game? It's arcade.
Well, the other thing too is we were getting DLC trailers before launch trailers, dude. That's how bad it got.
The crazy part
That's
about
how bad it got. We were getting DLC trailers before launch trailers.
Charging for betas.
Yeah.
What are we? A beta game's not complete. The game is not complete, and you're charging money.
What was it? Craftworks and people that do Power World. They the serious. They did serious. They did egregious uses of that because their games still ain't out.
They got like 3 or 4 games that are still in early access,
and that people have paid money for. Like, why would you pay for this? They're not. It's not complete. Are you getting it free when they done? Oh, you're not.
I give it to you if it was 1. Maybe 2, but you got 3 or 4. Nah,
bro. You got me that first time. You ain't giving me no more. So yeah. All right, people. We are way over time, and I got to get up early in the morning. So if we did not get to your question, I do apologize. We'll try to make sure we get everybody's in the next Q&A we do. Shadow, anything you want to pimp out?
No, there may or may not be a ShadowCast this week, depending on how things go. But there will be a video coming though. So I'll have one of those queued up to upload soon. Just wait and see, and we'll go from there. Do you play games, have fun, to impress other people?
All right, Jack.
I would just like to say to those that are PlayStation fanboys, or just you love PlayStation, it's okay. It's okay. Like your PlayStation still has value. It's not they're going to PC and Switch 2 and Xbox and never giving you games. It's okay to still love your console. So because I've seen so many like funeral posts, and these are coming from like avid PlayStation posters that some, like, when I scroll past them, like, piss me off, and I'm like, dang, you don't throw in the towel too? Like jeez. But all in all, y'all gonna be all right. Same thing for Xbox crowd. Y'all gonna be all right. Y'all gonna be all right. It's okay. Cry if you must, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's one thing. They will be all right. All right, Andre, man. What about you?
Nothing coming. Look, my channel is asleep until September.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
Until September. You might see the podcast on it. I may drop a small short here or there. And dealing with my kids is going to make it impossible. Look, it's like they have no war going on over there. But currently, channel's asleep. I'm trying to put together a bunch of stuff. and either first or second week of September is when everything starts. It just depends on how fast I get everything done.
All right, cool. As for me, you'll probably see some vids come up. I've been meaning to do some live streams. I do apologize for not getting those done. I think I'm just gonna start doing them on Saturdays now, Friday nights or Saturdays, just so I can have a stable date of doing them, and we'll go from there. I am looking forward to playing with Ken in Fatal Fury when he drops. So, and Sagat on Street Fighter 6 when he drops. So I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, the next game I'm probably getting, I think, is the Daemon X Machina sequel, because that's September.
Okay.
Oh no, it's Shinobi. I'm getting Shinobi, then I'm getting Daemon X Machina.
Yeah,
because I got Daemon X Machina pre-ordered from Amazon. I'm
ashamed to say my next game. I'm ashamed.
Yeah, but Shinobi's my name. I was gonna get Rage Bound, but I'm gonna wait to see. I wasn't the biggest fan of Blasphemous, so that's the team that's making Rage Bound, and I'm like, I'll wait to see somebody else play it first. But Shinobi, Art of Vengeance, I love that team, so yeah, I'm gonna be that's already pre-ordered. So those are gonna be my next two gaming purchases. I'm trying to wait to see if they do this release date for Metroid Prime 4 and Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. So because that's probably gonna be the last things I buy this year. Like I said, I'm not buying a lot of stuff this year, and I'm proud of myself that I haven't. So yeah, but that's the next things to look out for.
I'm so ashamed.
Until Nintendo Shadow drops Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remastered.
Why are you doing this to me, man? Why are you doing this to me, man?
Or you get your remake of Ocarina of Time. Yeah.
God damn it! I forgot they said they were doing that.
That's wild. Yeah.
Also,
you're not done.
Last bundle.
You're not done, sir. You're not done.
Well, as it stands now. So if today was December, as it stands now. So yeah, but thank you guys for coming through. We really do appreciate it. Thank you everybody in the chat. We appreciate you guys as well. We will see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have not forgot about Fresh Take. Me and Vicky will be back doing that one. We're probably gonna start back when the Wakanda Forever drops in August. Probably gonna do Ironheart on my own, and I probably need to go in and do the Superman, my Superman and Fantastic Four reviews. If you haven't had a chance to, I would. And you want to just have a good time at the movies, Fantastic Four and Superman are both good. Fantastic Four is under 2 hours. Actually, it's an hour and 50 minutes. It's 2 post-credit scenes. You only have to stay for the middle one. The other one just, I don't know why they do.
How many they got?
It's only 2. It's only 2.
Oh.
It's one in the middle though. The one in the middle is the one you need to stay through. Like the other one that's at the very end, you can just leave after that first one goes.
They're gonna do that centers on you, but until the screen turns off.
Yeah, until the screen turns off, don't walk out the smoke. But yeah, both of those movies are very well done. I enjoyed them. I watched Superman in IMAX. If you have an IMAX theater, just do it.
Go see it.
Just do it. You'll thank me later. Fantastic Four, I IMAXed that one as well. It's worth it. So yeah. But other than that, thank you guys again, and we'll see you guys next Sunday. Peace out, people.
Peace.